Hey everybody, how's it going? This is going to be a Ramble Update video, and not much to see except for these three things, which I'll get to later on. Firstly, haven't done a video in a little bit, in a few days really, because of Hurricane Irene. Hurricane Irene passed through, I believe it was a Category 1 as it passed through, and then later, like, either at some point through it, or after the fact something became a tropical storm. I don't know. Because it hit like at sometime after midnight, so I wasn't really paying attention to the news that much. Was trying to go to sleep actually. Didn't end up getting much sleep that night because of the wind and rain noise. It was really loud for some reason. I don't really know why, because it really shouldn't have been that loud, but it was. And it was cool to watch. Since I couldn't get sleep, I was watching the storm a bit. It's like, I don't know, I like rainstorms, so it's cool to watch the rain fall and the wind whip it around and whipping the trees around and whatnot. Well, I don't have any trees, but trees around. And anyway, I think around 4 o'clock or so was when the storm fully, not fully passed, I don't even know if it fully passed by, but pretty much passed by. So it takes a good couple hours or a few hours for the hurricane to pass by. If you think about it, yeah, it has high wind speeds in the hurricane itself, but if you take the hurricane as an entity, if you will, it has its own speed that it travels. And I think it was doing 26 to 36 miles an hour, and it was 130 something, 100. I don't know exactly. It was over 100 miles wide, the storm. So it's gonna take a few hours to pass by you, and you know, what a hurricane brings are storm surges, destructive winds, and flooding rain. So that combo hitting you for multiple hours is what really causes the damage in a hurricane. It's the time of exposure to the forces. But anyway, it passed by, didn't really lose any power, although places around me did lose power. There are some coworkers who still don't have power, and it's projected that not all power will be restored until the weekend coming up, which I think is a little bit of BS, but what can you do? But I have power, so I don't really worry for myself. I just think it's kind of lame that people have to be without power for basically a week. There was flooding. There was damage done by the winds to places. But all in all, at least for me, it wasn't that bad. I lost internet, which is why I haven't done any videos for a few days. That was it. Could have been worse. Could have lost power or something like that. But there was flooding. There was trees down. Even like the next block over, 2 blocks over, there were trees down. So it's weird and kind of interesting how, like, you know, say you take a 3-block radius and how that 3-block radius around you is affected differently from a storm that pretty much passed by the same area. So anyways, that's Hurricane Irene. There's another one brewing off the coast again, off the Atlantic, somewhere in the Atlantic, down south. So who knows where that one's going to go. Really, aside from the immediate effects of a hurricane, there's lasting effects, so it just takes time for the system to get back up and running again and things to start happening. For example, if you were expecting to deliver something, I'm not personally, but if you were, probably was delayed. It's going to take time for that to happen and all that jazz. So the system probably won't be fully up into swing until at least 2 more days or something like that. They just now fully restored all the train lines on the island to active status, and they're not fully active in terms of the normal schedule isn't running, but at least all the lines are now running. So it's taking time for pretty much the system to boot itself back up. But here I am, internet back, so I'm going to do some more hobby videos and things of that nature. And I'll do a video, I guess, about the Space Marine demo. Now, I pre-ordered it. I pre-ordered a special edition because I'm a sucker for special editions. But I did pre-order it, so I wasn't really worrying about playing the demo. But I did. I really, it's just laziness. So I liked it. The shorter videos, I liked it. I'll go over a little bit more about the demo in another video. It was short. I wanted to say more than that, so I'll say more in another video. Aside from that, didn't do much of the hobby stuff except for what you see here. Reason being, I don't know, didn't really feel like it during a hurricane. Though I did get some stuff done since I didn't have internet to pass the time with in terms of distraction. I was able to get some stuff done. So let's go to that, shall we? Firstly, I don't know where the sprue is, or I have a couple of sprue, I think, with the old style, one of the old style backpacks. Not from Forge World, from Games Workshop. I had a little thing. I actually have a couple of the old bolters too, from Games Workshop in the plastic. But I found this one. I'm gonna use it for my Iron model. It's supposed to be from the Great Crusade, you know, when they were still loyal and everything. So, figured it would be appropriate with the model. So I found that. Base coated that. This is the bolt pistol arm I'm gonna use. It's pretty much base coated. It's going to be in like a downward position, kind of like that, like not really using it, but it's there just in case. And that's the arm. It's one piece except for the shoulder pad. And here we go. I found the standard bearer arm. And this is one of the two crook staff, because I keep forgetting the term for the actual Egyptian staff thing like this. That Asmodeus 3 sent me. This one is actually lead cast. It's very soft. I actually thought I almost broke it trying to get into position, but luckily I didn't. I don't know of any method I can do to try and, you know, strengthen it up a bit in terms of, like, I don't think if I put PVA glue, like a coat of PVA glue over it or something like that, it would strengthen it or anything. If anybody has any tips for that, let me know, but I don't think there is something like that. What I'll do is I'll definitely matte varnish it twice. Maybe that'll give some type of shield on it. It's not going to make it rigid or really that sturdy, but it's better than nothing. So I chose this one to go in this hand. I thought it worked well. It's a little bit longer. Looks good. This was a standard bearer arm from the Command Squad box. What I did is I cut the standard bearer pole completely. And then you can still kind of see it there in his hand because there is some detail. Let me see if I can get to focus. Where he grips it down there. So what I did is I followed the natural angle of it, and I drilled through his hand with a small drill bit. Then I used a bigger drill bit and then one slightly bigger drill bit, I forget the exact size, to get it so he'd fit. Then I applied glue to the area that I wanted him to hold it in, and I slid it down and like wheel it in place to get the position I want and how he's holding it, and let it dry. You can see I still got to put more black on the staff itself, but I found the arm, so I can move forward with Ahriman. With the roads being done, now I can do the proper armor and get the arms and backpack all painted up, and then do the body, the armor parts on the body, and then put them together on a base. So you may not look it, but he's almost halfway done, because really there's not much detail on the model because of the robe. So it should go by pretty quickly once I can actually sit down and do it. So those are the biggest hobby updates that I've done. I made another base, and they're almost done, so when the 3 bases are done, I'll do another video to kind of wrap up the whole making a base thing and talking a little bit about that. But that's pretty much it. So more of my videos to come of what I want to do and other random things when I think about them. So just wanted to get this out there, kind of as a hey, Hurricane Irene passed. I hope anybody who else was affected, I hope they were they're okay, and that any type of damage or any type of power loss is fixed or is on the road to recovery. So that's it. Hurricane Irene definitely hit harder down south than it hit up here. Really, it was, I think it was a weak Category 1, because right after it hit, it became a tropical storm pretty much. So not trying to upplay the hurricane, also not trying to downplay it as nothing, because clearly there was damage done throughout the coast. There were some fatalities, states of emergency declared, I think, in every state it hit. So it's not a light thing, but at least locally it wasn't as bad as it could be, which is good. So that's it, and until next time, take it easy.